So, and I don't remember what exactly the CD was called, but it was like the circular one with the brown and the gold on it.
The Flames?
Yeah.
98 Degrees and Rising?
Yeah, that one. You remember the girl in the beginning, what her name was?
Yeah, vividly, yeah.
So, a little behind the scenes, we were in the studio.
Wait, was that the end of your question?
Yeah, that was my question.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It wasn't you, was it? No.
That wasn't anything.
Alright, so we were in the studio like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. Right, the studio's right off Times Square. And we were recording, we were doing like an interlude, we were recording some vocals on some stuff. And we had this idea for the intro for the CD, you know, the weather siren going off, you know, 98 degrees and rising and all that stuff. And so we were down in Times Square, we were going to a deli to get something to drink. And we were like, well, we need to find somebody that's gonna do the voiceover for the beginning of the CD. And there were...
What is a really sexy sounding voice, right? Really sexy sounding.
Yeah, there were a couple young ladies that had just gotten off work from the establishment next to the deli.
Family environment.
Yes. It was a clothing optional establishment next door. And so they were literally the only people around. And so we were like, we're recording something. Would one of you guys...
And they were like, yeah, sure.
I'm doing the voiceover. This is true, nothing happened. And there were two of them, and one girl was like, no.
She didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, and the other girl was like, sure, why not? And then we didn't realize until we got to the studio that she had just gotten her tongue pierced. And so...
That's why she sounds like that.
It was a unique vocal sound to that intro, but it stuck.
That's the story. You asked the question.
So, yeah. We found a stripper on Times Square and she did it.
All right, our next question is from?
Hi, I'm Brett from Queens, New York. I love you at Westbury. What's your favorite song to perform?
I think it changes. People usually, like the question said, do you get sick of the songs? Every night it's exciting because it's a new audience and they're singing along with you, even though you might get bored of the songs. The same kind of thing happens when you're singing the songs. It's just depends what the energy is that night. You know, for example, there was a song on our record, Revelation, called Dizzy, and at the time I didn't really like that song because it was probably outside of our wheelhouse. I liked all the ballads and stuff, but now it's a fun one to perform on stage because we actually kind of dance a little bit on that one. A little bit. A little tiny bit. But yeah, I like that one because it's got energy and you get the crowd moving with that one. So, but it changes all the time.
Awesome, thanks.
I don't get to answer? Thanks a lot, Queens. No, we for the people that have been to our shows, we tend to do like a TRL medley, which is kind of a nod to some of the biggest songs from that late 90s, early 2000s era. That is just a party. You know, it's like a 15-minute party every time. And so, while I'm up there pouring with sweat because I'm jumping around like an idiot, you know, whoever came up with the bye 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 dance just really, yeah, goodness gracious. You know, that to me, that is kind of like a nod to that entire era, and it doesn't matter whether you're an NSYNC fan or a 98 Degrees fan or Britney's. We don't have a New Kids song in there.
We're too young.
We will for the next one because they weren't on TRL. You know, so it's just kind of a nod that entire time. So that one's always a lot of fun.
Sorry.
That's it. It's okay. It's all right.
Our next question comes from?
Nice jacket.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Korn. I'm a born and raised New Yorker. However, with 4 children, we recently moved to South Jersey.
Sorry.
Congratulations.
Nobody's perfect.
Thanks for coming. So I wanted to know, what was dating like for you when you were at the height of 90 degrees an hour?
Awesome.
I wanted to know, did you feel like you needed to date people in the industry? industry or outside the industry? And was it hard for you to know if people were really interested in you or the, famous you?
I've been with the same girl since I was 16, so yeah, she hasn't got, well, she probably has gotten tired of me, but she won't leave me. Yeah, so my situation was very different. My situation was, all right, we're successful, I'm gonna go lock myself in my hotel room and stay out of trouble and make sure that I don't screw up. So that was kind of my dating life throughout the process, but yeah.
It was terribly difficult. It really was. I mean, look, as a young guy, one of the things you get in, you want to be famous and meet girls and all that stuff, and that's above and beyond what you think it is, but you eventually, that gets old really fast, right? And you eventually you start to question, do these people really like me for me? Do they want to be with me? They don't even know me, right? So that part is incredibly difficult. I can't imagine what it's like to be famous with social media now. It's got to be even crazier. So it was hard. It was a hard thing. Certainly guys would be like, yo, you poor guy. I mean, no, and of course it was fun, and you had opportunities to meet a lot of people and to date and all that good stuff. But it was really hard when you are doing some soul searching in this whirlwind that's crazy and you're looking for some stability. It was really, really difficult to find.
And then for us that know each other, we're like, there is no possible way that she could actually like you for you. She's a gold digger. No, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, so no, we actually have a pretty good sounding board amongst the four of us. We're not always right, but we're always going to tell you what we think, which is, could be great, could be absolutely terrible. So,
Thank you.
Good question. And next we have...
Hi guys. First off, I'd like to say that you guys have aged beautifully, like a fine wine.
This gentleman has done a fine job with the lighting. Very soft lighting up here.
No. Yes, for real, you
Thank
have.
you.
But I have a question. I am a true 98 Degrees fan, but I feel like a lot of people know the answer. I personally don't. How did you guys come up with your name?
Drew can answer this one.
So we had a bunch of really shitty names. Like I don't throw that term around loosely. They were really, really bad. And it got to the point where we were like, none of these names make sense. We were like, next issue, just us.
First four.
Inertia, like, shitty. So we got to the point where we were like, we got to figure this thing out. And our manager at the time, his fiance?
This is good, yeah, his girlfriend, fiance, girl.
Yeah. Basically was like, you guys should call yourselves 98 Degrees. And we were like, why? What does that even mean? And then we started thinking about it, we're like, well, we got love songs, and it's steamy, and it's hot, and like, it's the mood that we want our music to create. And then they also came up with like this logo. We were like, oh, that's a lot easier than spelling inertia. And so it just kind of stuck from there. So if you don't like it, it was her fault. If you like it, we came up with it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.